Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I have this bad habit as I start to slur my words, it's so late, where I just sometimes can only check my messages before bed. And that's a bad habit because I think I'm done recording. Like, my computer is in sleep mode. I'm attempting to, do things like brush my teeth, floss, etc. Which, by the way, kids, if you hate to floss, I didn't floss for years and years and years and years. And then I discovered something called the water flosser. Not a sponsor of this channel. And it changed my life because it's actually kind of soothing to water floss your gums, and you use water, not whatever poser thread they claim that ends up just hurting and making you feel as though you're jamming your mouth with something unnatural. Anyhow, water flossers, amazing. So I covered this briefly this afternoon on my channel, that some people have sent me not only screenshots of what it looks like to have a Gauntlet Reset in Special Quests, but also what it's like to once again explore that gauntlet. Now, mine doesn't say like 100%. I thought it did, and maybe I'm just like misremembering things, which could easily happen. But when I go into my Gauntlet quest, indeed, everything is already completed, but the dotted paths that are shortcuts to the boss, which don't count. But some people, it literally just reset, and they decided to post it on the forums. And I wanted to protect private information from people who maybe fear retribution from Kabam, but they went ahead and beat it again. And some people, they use like 100 units worth of resources. It's crazy. I will never be able to understand how they do that, but my hat's off to you. Not literally. I'm not going to take my hat off to you because that would be a bit scarring for our younger viewers. But anyhow, Kabam responded since I recorded that video today, and in my messages that I got as I was getting ready for bed, I thought, God, I really need to cover this. So I'm going to blacken the screen. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the forums. Now, what's interesting about the forum right now is that it's completely covered with known issue warnings. So we have our first known issue warning. We're currently investigating an issue where players are experiencing a freeze and crash while completing a practice fight or duel. We do not recommend using the practice feature or duels at this time. We are working to address this as soon as possible. I don't practice, so this doesn't affect me literally at all. But I will say, if it's a server issue where you're having all these things, because I'm sure the coding is a nightmare for all this, all these things going on at once, how is Battlegrounds going to be? Like, can you imagine how many bugs there are going to be in Battlegrounds? There were always bugs in the beta test on the alpha server. But now, just wait. All right, number 2 is we're aware of an error notification that tells summoners that there are not enough resources when entering a number of game modes. We are working on a fix. A short-term fix is to reset the game. More info soon. Now, that is not always something that works. We've featured videos on this very topic just this week where people restart the game, re-downloaded the game, deleted the game off their phone, re-signed in, still couldn't make it. So, hopefully, as they continue to work on it, that is a 100% fix, but you never know. And when you have a very small window to fight your Eternity of Pain fights before they reset, you can't afford anything but prayer, I guess, at that point. The third and final known issue, and the reason why this video exists on my channel today, some summoners are reporting their progress in the Grandmaster's Gauntlet has reset to 0. If you saw your progress reset recently, we advise against doing an additional run of the Grandmaster's Gauntlet, as we are unsure what the end result regarding the rewards will be. So they aren't committing to taking them away. But of course, that's a pretty complicated thing for Kabam to do, right? It's complicated for them to take away 6 stones. It's complicated for them to take away champions. And when in doubt, if Kabam doesn't want to go through trouble, you know what's not complicated for them to do? Temporarily ban you. And I do not want that to happen. I'm not saying that so that I'm speaking it into existence. I just know that they've done this before, and so I talk about historical precedent on my channel, and this is indeed that. So, overall, YouTube, fight the temptation if you're one of those people who knows you can get the rewards again. It's not worth being banned. It's not worth Kabam flagging your account. But let me tell you the opposite. What happens, this reminds me of the loyalty problem that Kabam just ignored and stopped talking about with the people who got like I don't know, what was it, like 100 million loyalty, 10 million loyalty, something crazy, enough to get a max Sig 200 Unstoppable Colossus. And if they were really lucky and didn't use that loyalty and kept it, they could actually just buy out all the amazing new Tier 3 Alpha and Tier 6 Basic Callus fragments along with the max Sig Unstoppable Colossus, but especially a 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal after Paragon. But anyhow, they just ignored it. So what happens if Kabam ignores this and they just get to keep the additional rewards? That would be its own infuriating issue in a different note. So Kabam has a little bit of nightmare on their hands right now, and they're trying to make it less, but players are going to clear content for rewards that they can clear, especially if they can clear the gauntlet with very little units and certainly cash and just risk it. So Kabam has spoken. They've given the warning. Beware, there probably will be consequences. And if you said you didn't know there'd be consequences, you weren't paying attention.